From now, we will be writing code to add element to an array, update the elements in the array, and delete an element in an array. So first, before I do anything else, I created an array of strings, and it holds 6 strings. But also another thing that I have to do every time we create an array, another thing we have to do is declare the number of elements in that array. So here I'll say number of names, right? So it's same as number of elements in the array. So the reason I'm using the variable number of names is if I have to create another array, I can use the same method of naming the variable for the number of elements. So if I said number of elements and I create another array, then I'd have to call it something else. So now I know if I create ID numbers, I'll just say number of ID numbers, and this number of names at this point is 0 because there are no names in the array. So the first thing we are going to do is write a method that displays all the elements in this array, right? Before we can display elements in an array, we need to add the elements. For now, I'll just add the elements by myself. I'll just hard code them. So then we go back to Williams and name 1 will be Zwane, and then name 2, this will be name 2, name 3, and name 4. Name 2 Kekana, and then Obri Mudiba, and then the last one would be Vala. Right, so now we have our elements in the array. Now we said we are going to write code that displays all the elements in the array, right? Okay, so now we've added 5 elements. So each time we add an element, then the number of names increments, right? Here as well, the number of names increments, and here the number of names increments, and after we added that one, the number of names will increment again, and then after we added that one, the number of names will increment again. So now we have all the names and we have the number of names, the number of elements in the names array. So now we want to display them. I am going to do that in a separate method. So I will create a method public static. It will return nothing. All it's going to do is display the elements in the array. So I'll call this method display, and it will get an array of strings, and we will call that array names as well, so it doesn't matter what we name it. And then we said to display all the elements in an array. We say int I is equals to 0, I is less than the size of the array. So now we have an array of size 6, then I plus plus, so this will display all the elements in the array. So then we said it's called names I. Then we go .NET Run. I haven't called the method yet, so that's not going to do anything. In order to use the method, we have to call it and pass in the the array. So we said it must receive an array of names, so then we have to pass in the array of names for it to use. So now this method displays all the names in the array, right? But then here, let's say we had 4 names, we didn't have all the names, then this loop would still run 5 times. This loop will still run 6 times because there are 6 elements. So in order to not run 6 times but to only run as many as the number of names we have, we need to pass in this number of names to the method that displays the names, and then we can call this number of elements, and instead of running it 6 times, because the length of our array is 6, we can run it as many times as the number of elements we have. So then if you do this, expected an identifier, this is an int. So then if we run the code, we only see only the names that are in our array are displayed. So there's no empty space that is displayed. Previously we had an empty space, now we do not have any empty spaces. So when we had a 6 here, when we displayed the name, it displayed an extra space. But now, because we're using num elements, it does not display the empty string anymore. So that's it.